Welcome to the LL Basketball Roundtable, brought to you by Thaddeus Stevens College of Technology. We are operating at less than 100% lung capacity this week, folks, so bear that in mind as we muddle through another week of LL Hoops, looking back, looking ahead. My name is Mike Gross from LNP, LancasterOnline.com, and seated to my left, as usual, John Walk. Seated to my right, Jeff Reinhardt. These dudes cover high school basketball for our publications, and we're going to start, as we always do, with a visit to one of the LL schools. John, take it away.
Yeah, you might notice I'm rocking the Crimson Tide colors today because we stopped out at Columbia for boys practice. Granted, I will mention that we recorded this Thursday of last week. So since that has happened, Columbia is now 9-0. Monday night, senior guard Kerry Glover won over 1,000 career points, 15th player in the program's 104-year history to do so. I asked him about that on camera. We also caught up with Robert Footman, the All-State football quarterback in the fall, who's one of the best players in the team for basketball, and talked to Coach Kerry Glover as well. Columbia, as we record this, is 9-0. They also have a huge game coming up this Thursday at Lancaster Mennonite with first place on the line in LL Section 5. And one of the kind of bread and butters of Columbia is they like to get up and down the floor, and they're able to do that thanks to their full court press. So kind of went into the details, the intricacies of their press and why it's so effective. So with that in mind, we will go out to Columbia. Here with All-State football quarterback Robert Footman. That's during the fall. This is during the winter. You're also a starter in basketball. Walk me through you and Kerry Glover kind of taking on that leadership role in the hardwood, and then we'll kind of get into the nitty-gritty of the team.
Just our experience for these past 4 years. We gained the experience in the leadership, and due to other great leaders before us, we kind of just knew what we were doing on the leadership side. But this experience on the team is amazing and best I've ever had.
Anybody comes and watches you guys knows you for a full court press. Sometimes it's 1-2-2, sometimes it's a different kind of press. You guys like the trap, you like the forced turnovers. You had 18 first half turnovers against Lancaster Country Day. So take us into the specifics of a full court press, a half court trap. What makes it so effective? Why are you guys able to do it so well?
Just moving with the flight of the ball. That's what you're supposed to do in the zone, and that's what we do pretty well. Just moving with the flight of the ball, and we're a pretty small team, so we're fast, so we can get around quickly and execute everything quickly. So,
what's the dynamic like of having your dad as a head coach?
It's good, it's fun, but sometimes we just bump heads a lot, but it's been better now.
Columbia basketball started in 1917 roughly. It's been around 100 plus years. In that time, 14 players have scored 1,000 plus. By the time people watch this, more than likely you'll be the 15th guy to have done it. At some point you're going to do it this year if you stay healthy, is what I'm saying. What does that mean to you to kind of get to this point and put your name up on that banner?
It means a lot because I'm going to be the first one in my family to do it, but other than that, I'm just worried about winning districts and counties and all that.
I've been covering you guys. It feels like you're building to something here this season. Does it feel like that?
Yeah, I just think practices, we take it more seriously, we're more competitive. And then during the games, I think one of our things, we focus on defense the most. And that's what it brings all our energy, and then we just been building from there.
When people see this, your next opponent coming up should be Lancaster Mennonite. You guys have obviously battled for position there the last few years in Section 5. What do you make of the Blazers this year? What do they bring to the table that is going to give challenges to Columbia?
My guys know how much I love Cam Hurst. He was a player in my AAU program with the Raiders over at the Nook last year, and just being able to talk to him outside the season and getting to know him some more and helping out with some of their practices was different for me. So I'm able to see him, in a different aspect. So I'm a huge Cam Hurst fan. So it hurts me when we have to go up against each other. But their love and the respect for the game, we're able to be competitors with some of my guys and some of the guys over there. I mean, Mennonite has always been a challenge for us, and we just look forward to it.
There you have it from Columbia, the team that I really think has a chance to play for a long time this postseason. A lot of athletes, a lot of weapons. It'll be fun to watch that, and I'm looking forward to seeing them on Thursday in that game against Lancaster Mennonite. We're going to begin the discussion today, though, with Mr. Reinhardt, because I think we're seeing a player emerge who is of potentially historic greatness and you saw her last night. Go.
Yes, Kyla Correa from Lebanon, freshman 9th grader. I don't even know where to start. She's dynamic. She's a dynamo. Just the way she warms up. She warms up with a purpose. Scores a ton. She had 41 points against Conestoga Valley on Monday night. 20 at half, and I thought, oh, she's having a night. Got to 30 by the end of the third, and I was like, okay. CV was winning the whole game, and Lebanon just came all the way back from down 11.
I think that's an important point to make here. This is not 41 points in an up and down blowout where her team scored 75 or 80. This is her putting her team on the back because they're behind, and they weren't going to win if she didn't score 40.
No, and exactly. And I said to CV coach Bill Moore after the game, I said, how do you go from up 11 to losing? And he looked at me and just said, Correa. She wanted to take over the game, and she did. What a talent. 41 points. Most points in an LL girls game. Mariah Wilson for Mennonite last year had 40 in a game. And I think Wilson might have hit 40 like her junior year as well. Oh. She's at Towson now. Correa is just so fun to watch. And when I was at the game Monday night, you're right on top of them in Lebanon. It's great. And she wowed me with the offensive stuff. She can shoot, she can get to the rim, she can dribble drive, all of that. Fantastic. Her defensive skills, her on-the-ball defensive skills are top-notch.
There's nothing to take issue with.
No.
Except she's 5 feet nothing.
She's,
you know,
5'1". She's batting balls away, getting steals. CV had a hard time just getting to the timeline. I mean, she would be on their point guard and just in the face the whole night. She had 4 fouls, like mid-fourth. And she has to be on the floor.
Yeah. They're toast without her.
Yeah, and they're down like 6 or whatever, and she's got 4 fouls, and she's batting and, a hand check, and she's gone.
It would be interesting to see because this kid has been a known quantity among hoops junkies for a while now. She's an AAU player and everything. It would be interesting to see what college coaches she's heard from in the last 24 hours after that performance, because I guarantee you she's on the radar now. These people know about her, and it's going to be interesting to watch how she develops over the next year.
She's superb, and Lebanon, they're riding it. I mean, they have 9 wins. They're alone in first place in Section 2. They play Cedar Crest later in the week. They get Hempfield next Tuesday in the crossover game. That'll be very big. Hempfield's undefeated. Lebanon could be undefeated in league play when they come to Hempfield next Tuesday. So I'll probably land at that game. If you get a chance to see Kyla Correa in person, go. She is unbelievable. Knock on glass. If Lebanon can be a playoff team for 4 years and win in advance and play a lot of games, she's going to break a lot of records. She is just a treat.
Boom. Now, let's talk about section races a little bit. John, a couple interesting things, one of which is that Hempfield has all of a sudden lost 2 in a row.
Yeah, we began last week, Hempfield winning first 8 games of the season, started 8-0, and then they go to E-Town, losing overtime to a really good E-Town team that kind of started off a little rough and has found its footing here. And then Saturday, they host McCaskey last Saturday, and McCaskey comes away with a 2-point victory, kind of a signature win that the Red Tornado really has been looking for all year. So
we'll see if it's a signature win.
Yeah, sure.
Let's watch what happens.
And as a result, with Hempfield, both of those losses are in the league. And that kicks the door wide open in the Section 1 race. We weren't really sure what Crest has, and weren't really sure what Township has. Township's now coming off a loss to Garden Spot, which is non-league, but you think Township, Cedar Crest, McCaskey, Hempfield are all right there. You could kind of take your picking.
Yeah, everything has changed about that section in the last week. Yeah.
And along with that, Section 2, Lebanon maybe had one returning starter, and you've been watching them closely here. Talk about the Cedars.
Yeah, Lebanon got a really good win against Palmyra, which has been one of the best teams in the Mid-Penn Conference so far this year, in a kind of a showcase thing at Lebanon Valley College on Sunday. And I think Lebanon is 10-2 now. They're playing great defense, and they're really surprising because they lost some really key pieces. Luke Collins, the point guard, due to a torn ACL, and they had another kid transfer out who would have been one of their best. But Tim Spiraw, their coach, did something really interesting. Last year, he had a lot of seniors, a lot of veteran guys in the varsity, so he played some juniors on the JVs. And those kids we talk all the time about, can kids make that transition from JV to role player to really contributing? Lebanon has done that. They've pulled that off.
Since we're on a Lebanon County team, you also got to see Elko last week knock off Lancaster Catholic to take over first place in LL Section 4. Elko might have one of the tallest teams in the league. Is that fair to say?
They do. They do. The Ativo kid is 6'7", and he's legitimately, he looks at least that big to me. And then our boy Williams from football season, he's maybe 6'2", 6'3", but he plays bigger because he's such a beast. I think they're going to win that section. They're 2 games clear in that section. Pretty solid team.
And speaking of Elko boys, they go to Manheim Central this coming Friday. Manheim Central now has won 8 in a row after an 0-2 start, losses to Warwick and Lampeter Strasburg, and they've really found their footing here. So one of the hottest teams in the league. We'll find out what they're made of a little bit on Friday, although the Barons did beat a previously unbeaten Fleetwood team this past Saturday. And then finally, Section 5, Columbia, as we talked about this previous Saturday, went to York Catholic. Columbia York Catholic, top 2 teams in District 3, 2A power ratings, 3A power ratings, and Columbia wins that handily by about 20 points. They did kind of get a scare a little bit from Susquehanna Township on Monday night and win that, but we'll find out who's atop Section 5 after Thursday night when the Tide go to Lancaster Mennonite.
Interesting.
Section races.
Okay. I think the big game this week, circle it, Section 5. This game was postponed last week, so it was pushed back a little bit, but Columbia and Lancaster Country Day are both still undefeated. Tide's 9-0, Country Day's 8-0, heading to the middle of the week. Columbia at Lancaster Country Day, Saturday, 1 o'clock. See you there. That should be great.
Be there.
Hempfield and Penn Manor kind of broke away from the pack in Section 1. Hempfield's still undefeated as of this recording. Lebanon up a couple of games here in Section 2. Manheim Central's been really good. They're 4-0. They beat Section 3. Let's get to the Maddie Nyer discussion. Maddie Nyer, as of this recording, is at 966 points, the junior. They play Wednesday at home against Penn Manor. I'm going to go to that in case she gets 34. And they play Friday at Elko in a crossover game, planning to go to that in case she doesn't get 34 on Wednesday. Keep an eye on Nyer. Lancaster Catholic beat Elko last Friday night to take over sole possession of first place in Section 4. Saw the Crusaders Saturday against DeLone. Talked about that. Rematch of the district final last year. Catholic was up 14 in the first half.
Wow.
Couldn't slam the door. DeLone came all the way back and won. Threw in a funky shot at the end of regulation to tie it. And then DeLone outscored Catholic 9-1 in OT and won. So Catholic, that was a stinger.
But last year, DeLone was clearly the better team.
They were awesome.
Not so much this year.
Well,
right?
Yeah, Lancaster Catholic was impressive. Like I said, they got up 14 and they were playing great. And they had DeLone very much on the ropes. But DeLone just kept playing. They're so experienced and they have all these seniors. As mentioned, Section 5. 2 other things I got to mention, pretty please, real quick. Please keep Chad McDowell in your thoughts. Solanco coach, veteran guy, great guy. Chad's awesome, dealing with some health issues. He's around, but he hasn't been on the bench for a couple of games. Still helping out when he can. Get well soon, Chad. Mentioned Nyer. 4 20-point per game scorers. I don't know where the boys are at, but 4. Genesis Meadows, 23 a game. Nyer's at 22. Correa, her average went up by 2 full points after scoring 40 wins. She went from 19 to 21. That'll do that. And Bree Draghi from Columbia is at 20 points a game. Morgan Miller has 22 threes for Penn Manor, and she hit her 100th career 3 the other night. Way to go, Morgan.
Genesis Meadows again.
Genesis Meadows.
The world be free of the Lancaster.
Oh, she's spectacular, and I'll see her Saturday against Columbia. So.
Okay, let's just do what's coming up. Where are you going the next couple days? What's to watch coming up?
All right, so as you guys watch this, Friday, there's a few big games. They're all section crossovers. Section 1-2 crossovers, a pair of Warwick's going to Hempfield, Elizabethtown is going to Manheim Township, and Elko is going to Manheim Central, all top-notch matchups worth watching there. And then Saturday, rivalry game, Section 1-2 crossover, Lebanon is going to Cedar Crest, and I believe their first matchup earlier in the year was decided by a 5-point margin. So, and both teams have steadily improved since then. So kind of curious on that. How about the girls' end?
Nice. Wednesday night, Penn Manor, which is in second place and right in it in Section 1, at Manheim Central. We'll see if Nair can get 34 for 1,000. Thursday night, I'm going to go see a couple of locals. McCaskey at CV. I haven't seen McCaskey yet. Really super impressed with CV. They're way better than 4-4 and 0-3 in the section. They could have beat Lebanon the other night, but Kyla Correa had other ideas. Friday, I'm going to go to Mannheim Central at Elko. I'm thinking Nair should hit 1,000 that night, if
I love
not
those
Wednesday.
milestones, guys.
Absolutely. And Saturday, Columbia at Lancaster Country Day, 1 o'clock tip. I'll be at that. Do want to mention Lancaster Catholic. They're playing great non-leagues. I mean, they played DeLone last week. They get Trinity on Saturday, and that's an old school District 3 kind of a game. That's at the Catholic Showcase at York Catholic. So that's always a good event. Busy.
Speaking of Lancaster Catholic girls basketball, I wanted to give a shout out to a Lancaster Catholic girls basketball alum, and Kiki Jefferson, who's been doing big things all year at James Madison University. This past Sunday playing Elon, Kiki Jefferson's finished, I think, with 22 points. She scored James Madison's last 5 points, including the pair of game-clinching free throws at the end for a 2-point win. I believe it was 53-51 over Elon.
Wow.
So JMU doing big things thanks to Kiki.
I'll just throw this prediction out there. I don't know what her future plans are. I'm not in touch with Kiki like I used to be, but she can play in the WNBA.
She's only a junior, so she's got another year eligibility left.
I'm not saying she's going to be a first-round pick or anything, but she's
got the size.
Yeah, she could play at that level.
Yep. She's so strong, just such a strong athletic
Absolutely.
kid. Yeah, so we'll see.
She could be a pro.
Gang, there's hoops all over the place. We hope you pay attention to our coverage on LNP and LancasterOnline.com. And we hope you go out and watch a basketball game once in a while, because they're pretty much fun to watch. I'm Mike Gross. He's John Walk. He's Jeff Reinhart. This has been the LL Basketball Roundtable, brought to you by Thaddeus Stevens College of Technology. See you later.